Well, hello everyone. I'm back again. We are going to be talking wrestling here, as always. We're going to be talking Smackdown specifically, but there's still going to be a lot of talk about wrestling in general. You are joining the Tom Colohue channels, both on YouTube and on Twitch right now. We are going to be going deep into the Smackdown previews. We are going to be answering all of your questions, or at least as close to all of your questions as we can, because I think we all know that that could end up being a lot of questions. And of course, we're going to be talking about the latest news, the latest big moments, the latest controversies in the world of wrestling. For example, elimination chambers in Saudi Arabia, for example. That could be a crazy one. And of course, stories that have just released that you may never have heard anywhere else. Apparently Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair might be wrestling at WrestleMania. I don't think I've ever heard that anywhere else. That only came out today. Wonderful world of wrestling. For anyone who doesn't know, you are watching the Tom Colohue YouTube and Twitch channels concurrently. We are currently aiming for just two today. More subscribers to the YouTube channel. That will take us up to 815, considering this time last week we were on 795. It's been a very, very good week. A very good week, and every little does help. Meanwhile, over on Twitch, we ain't doing half bad either. We're getting closer and closer to 450, which of course brings us closer to the dream of all of the followers. All of them. We're currently sitting at 442 in a good old-fashioned football terms, with a target of 450. Please do consider hitting that follow button. So, today, this is an Ask Me Anything stream. Jump in, say hi, tell me anything you want to tell me, and ask whatever questions you would like. React as the show goes on. The more we chat, the more active we do. Well, so the more active we are, the more and faster we grow. So please, even if you're just saying the same thing a couple of times, go nuts. Go nuts. Talk amongst yourselves. Chat rate matters. The more people chat, faster we grow. Welcome everyone. Welcome firstly David Leary says hi Tom, Dr. Leary is back. Welcome Dr. Lear. Thank you for coming to the show and joining me today. Didn't know it was David. Maybe it's not Doctor indeed. Hello. Sean says hello Tom, good to see you again, and very good to see you too Sean. How you doing mate? How is everyone today? Edward Brooks says hello Tom. Hello Edward Brooks, welcome to the show. Moxley says hi. Welcome Moxley. Bailey, welcome Bailey, says hello Tom. Sean is jumping in with our first piece of news. Saying, according to Meltzer, the Elimination Chamber is going to be getting a name change to WrestleMania Chamber. Good. Doing an Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia is a bad thing. It is a bad thing. Especially after they've literally beheaded journalists. You know, it's been categorically proven they did behead a journalist. That is a thing that happened. It has been categorically proven. And yet here we are, continuing to act like nothing is wrong. It's wrong. So I'm glad they're changing the name of the chamber. I, as you guys know, won't be watching. I'll be watching the Royal Rumble, and then it sounds like I won't be watching another pay-per-view or premium live event until WrestleMania. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Alex Gonzalez says, yo Alex, how you doing man? Moxley says, Tom, did you get a haircut or is it just me? Because you look different. My hair needs a wash. No haircut, still plenty around back. But it does need a wash. It's a bit less floofy than normal. Justin Stevens says, Belair versus Lynch definitely seems like the WrestleMania 38 match after this Monday. Could see Becky pulling a Miz from 2011 where he eliminated Cena even though he was champ. Very fair, Justin. Thank you very much for jumping in and mentioning that. Belair versus Lynch certainly seems more possible now that Belair did not win the match on Monday. The fact that Doudrop has jumped in front of her is a very good thing for the long-term plans. It also does suggest that Bayley might not make it in time. That's certainly the suggestion if it is going to be Belair versus Lynch. Although, to be fair, going by Meltzer's report, he did say Bayley could make it in time. It just seems unlikely right now. It does seem unlikely right now, but not impossible. I'm still hoping. Noob, welcome mate on YouTube saying hello. Hello Noob, great to see you. Sean says Tom Holland posted on his Instagram the poster for Uncharted. We've already seen trailers. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. I'm going to be introducing a few more people to The Last of Us over the next few days. It seems to have become a rite of passage for anyone I date, know, or in any way spend time with. And I'm okay with that. Alex says, heel Becky versus heel Doudrop makes no sense unless the WWE have changed plans to do Bianca versus Becky at the Royal Rumble. Well, to be fair, it may make no sense, but Becky may still have asked for it. I think we have to consider the possibility that Becky is just trying to put as many people over as possible on her way to WrestleMania when she'll basically be told who to face. We know Bianca versus Becky will be happening again eventually. If they can't put in Alexa Bliss as they're hoping, if they can't put in Bayley, why not Bianca Belair? Give her one more crowning moment, because the thing with the WWE is when they decide they're behind you the whole damn way. Literally the whole damn way. Alex is saying no update about Bayley return. No update to speak of at the moment. As far as I know, Bayley is still not expected to be at the Royal Rumble. She has never been expected to be at the Royal Rumble. I'm hoping. I believe she will make it. That doesn't mean she will. I do not have any backstage information here. I am just a man with a dream. And my dream is of Bayley winning the Royal Rumble and facing off with and beating Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. That's my dream. I know other people have had bigger, better dreams. Dreams that have actually been positive for more people or positive for actual reasons. But I dream of wins for Bayley. Does that make me an idiot? Kind of. Does that make me a bit... does that mean I need to learn some perspective? Probably. But wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool? Bayley says, Tom, I stumbled into watching NXT this week and caught the match with Wendy Chu. This has to be the strangest gimmick since Orange Cassidy. Even worse when you consider what her gimmick was previously. It's not just a change, it's a complete sea change. The dynamics all over the place for this. Hello, Jay Quick. Thank you kindly for the host over on Twitch. I very much appreciate it. How are you, sir? I haven't seen much of Wendy Chu since the change, but it is quite a change. It stands out and it's going to be memorable. These are all very good things when you're building your character for the future. You want personality gimmicks? You got it. We can't all be Orange Cassidy. Though I do feel Orange Cassidy very much not going to hit the heights, unfortunately. The gimmick will hold him back. Moxley says, Tom, do you think Seth will beat Roman? And then we get Roman versus Brock at Mania and Seth versus AJ at Mania. Firstly, please don't tease me with Seth versus AJ. Please don't tease me. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. It's certainly a genuine possibility. But don't tease me, Moxie. Don't tease me. Roman versus Brock I'm still confident of. This would be a good way to sort of right the wrong and the changes that have been made. But I just don't see Roman losing. I think it may be that I've been trained not to think that Roman's capable of losing. WWE have done a very good job in protecting him. But at the same time, I just don't see Roman losing. Justin says if Bayley can't make the Rumble, then I think they should keep her out until a Raw or SmackDown after Mania. I think that's fair. If they do make it so that Bayley doesn't make WrestleMania, I can't see her wrestling at a match for WrestleMania beyond maybe appearing briefly in the Battle Royal. Bayley, for example, winning the Battle Royal, eliminating Naomi last, there's history there, would be a great way to reintroduce her without her doing too much. Sean says, I know they don't watch, but birthday shout-outs to Casey Catanzaro, Matt Riddle and Cora Jade. Before we go anywhere with that, Sean, maybe they do. After all, we know that Vince McMahon watches. We know that. We know that Vince McMahon watches. We know that Dave Meltzer watches. We know that people from Peter Insider watch because, my God, what's been going on with Peter Insider over the last week? We know that quite a lot of people in the wrestling journalism Rat Pack are always watching. Yes, I see you, or I don't, because you keep locking your accounts and claiming mental health problems, don't you? Just when it's convenient for you. Just when it's convenient for you, and not, you know, like myself who actually lives with actual mental health problems. Oh. Went on a tangent there. Got myself wound up. Hi everyone. I swear I'm not as toxic as I sound. Happy birthday to Casey Catanzaro, Matt Riddle and Cora Jade. David Leary says, how many big surprises can we expect at the Royal Rumble? More than you think. to be completely blunt. There is definitely talk already now, since I brought it up at Nick and Tom's, there is definitely suggestions of Chris Jericho being in the Royal Rumble. Many others, for example, maybe making brief appearances who come from different promotions, but it will mostly be women. We've seen Mickie James already. There are likely going to be a few more, including, for example, Deonna Purrazzo. Let's just drop that name there, Deonna Purrazzo, and see what we can make there. But there will be mostly surprises in the women's Royal Rumble, and then a couple of big surprises in the men's. They want them big this year. For some reason, Vince wants it big. Vince wants size. He wants it sizable, and he wants it to sweat. Hey, Jake, who's going on a date? Congratulations, mate. Hope you have a great time. I always try and remind people that when it comes to a date, just try and have a good time. Even if there's no chemistry, even if it doesn't work out, as long as you've had a good time, that's what matters. Hope it goes well. Alex says, I was surprised by new Raw Tag Team Champions. Me too. It also kind of suggests that Orton and Riddle might be breaking up sooner than we think. That said, it's a very good thing for Chad Gable and Otis. It is Otis's first championship reign, to my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for Chad Gable, man, is he a tag team championship specialist? One of the best wrestlers in the world. Only ever held tag team gold. And a lot of it, to be fair. All the tag team gold. He is a purely tag team Grand Slam champion. Amazing. Ed, welcome to the show, mate. Great to see you. How you doing? Well, I've got you all. Please do consider hitting that like button. That little thumbs up on YouTube can make a massive difference. We are, as I mentioned, looking for a grand total of 2 subscribers. 2 new subscribers during the show today. That will take us to 815 and would mean that in the last 5 days we've gained 20. Yes, I just refreshed my page so I could see if we've gained any. We have not. But that would take us up to a point of gaining 20 in the last 5 days, which is absolutely incredible. 4 per day. You can't make this stuff up, you know? And I'd be very, very proud of that. Every like makes a big difference. Every view, the watch time, so the longer you view, the better. It all makes a big difference, and I really do appreciate the support. If you can hit subscribe, or if you have other accounts, please do consider hitting subscribe using it. Alex says AJ Styles versus Finn Balor needs to happen. It did happen on, I believe, TLC 2018. AJ Styles was a late replacement for Bray Wyatt, who was going to be Sister Abigail. And Finn Balor was going to be a pumpkin. I'm not glad that someone got sick, especially when Bray Wyatt became seriously ill. But damn, we dodged a bullet. Moxley says, Tom, did you see Nikki and Rhea break up? And like he said on that same day, that Nikki will be heel, and she is. I did see that. I don't want to take particular credit for the Nikki Cross report there. Yes, I knew she would be going heel. Yes, I was absolutely certain. Yes, I'd been told several times that it was happening. But I do feel like they made it clear that that was what was going to happen. Rhea Ripley is now, for I feel the first time, definitively a face. Which means that Rhea versus Becky is definitely happening at some point. Rhea would be a good Royal Rumble winner. Moxley also says, did you know that this Monday Roman would have broken Brock's record and will have held the title for 504 days? I did not know that. I've not been keeping track personally, so thank you for the update. That certainly suggests a little more likelihood of Roman losing the championship. Think about when New Day broke a record and then immediately lost the titles. Noob says, I just saw a tweet from Asuka. She might be hinting at coming back. I would imagine she is, on the basis that she is coming back. Vince, I know you're watching. I sometimes forget we have those. Thank you, Ed, for that glorious reminder. Sean says, any more details about Corey Graves? Why, yes. There is a reason. There is a reason that it has come out now when he's actually being cleared for a while. Essentially, the pitches that he and others have made for him have been, how to phrase this? Shit. That's it. Shit. They've been shit. Because of that, neither he nor the company have been willing to actually make the change and say, Corey, come out of retirement. So this certainly has made a change when it comes to that, because the leaking of information like this certainly makes people interested in Corey Graves and certainly encourages the WWE to get that happening and write a better story, doesn't it? This is why the information has leaked now. Corey Graves has been cleared for a while. He's been waiting for a good storyline. He's been trying to pitch one. None of that has worked. So now someone has decided to twist the WWE's arm a little bit. It's clever. I do believe he will be appearing in the Royal Rumble. I had one source on it, not enough to report previously, just suggesting that, oh, Corey Graves might pop into the Rumble. You never can tell, but it's someone who's given me stuff in the past. So I thought maybe, maybe. It's still a possibility that Corey Graves will appear in the Royal Rumble. I think now he kind of has to, because this information has got out. Spider Boss, welcome back, mate. Great to see you. Says, hi Tom, what's next for Liv Morgan on Raw? Next for Liv Morgan, basically the only actual storyline she's going to have for a little while is the Royal Rumble. After that, she will be building towards WrestleMania. I suspect we're going to see Liv versus Nikki Cross sooner rather than later, but Nikki has to deal with Rhea Ripley as well in the build to that. Liv Morgan is going to be the B storyline for Raw for a little while. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. Jay Quick says, I haven't dated in 11 years. Wow, mate. Wow. Go for it. Get back out there. Make things happen. You deserve to be happy, mate. I never last that long. I sort of accidentally fall into a date. Like, I was with my current girlfriend before we actually went on a date. Like, I asked her out, but on that same day I kissed her. So, like, hard to say. But I sort of walk into relationships, and then at some point we both look around and like, oh yeah, we've been dating for like 2 months. How'd that happen? That's sort of how things work for me. Alex says, Mr. McMahon wants a big surprise. Omos winner of the Royal Rumble. Don't tempt him, because he will do that. He'll put Omos against Brock Lesnar. You know he will. David Leary is asking, is Triple H still running NXT UK? He is at the moment, mostly because NXT UK doesn't involve a lot of running. They write the storylines and hand it over to the team. It takes all of an hour. Nobody's watching. Why would they care? It's just like, oh, these two wrestlers can put on a great wrestling match. Let's make it happen. That's all they really do. There's not much in the way of storyline going on down there. Triple H can basically do this with his eyes shut. And that's essentially what's happening. KJ Welcome says, what's up, Tom? What's up, KJ? How the devil are you? Ed says, TLC 2018, the cursed show. Cursed indeed. Cursed with Kurt Angle, who had a great day. A great day. He was so happy. Go on, Kurt. Welcome the user to the show. Great to see so many familiar faces both on Twitch and on YouTube. It is wonderful seeing so many regulars popping in. If you haven't yet clicked like on YouTube, please do remember, hit that thumbs up. Makes a big difference to our algorithms. We are currently hunting just two more subscriptions to get us up to 815, a new record for the channel. In the meantime, over on Twitch, we are currently at 442. 8 more gets us to 450. Sean says, surprised Rhea didn't turn heel. I'm not personally. Rhea's one of those. The fans are behind her a lot more than Nikki Cross, but Nikki Cross's heel turn is sort of a The Rock heel turn, where the fans have made the decision and the WWE are just catching up. The user says, realistically, who do you think will be a big return in the men's rumble? I think Chris Jericho will be a very big return, and yes, I think that's realistic at this point. Outside of that, there's not many big returns that I would expect, because most of the older wrestlers now just want to not. They just want to not. So MVP would be up there. But I think when it comes to the older name who comes back, Kevin Nash is always going to pop up, let's be honest. Steve, welcome, mate. Says, hello, Tom. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Which superstars do you believe will be added to the men's rumble match? Well, I've mentioned Jericho there. I'll mention him again because I do believe in that. I think Nick Aldis is in with a shout. Let's just say that. But outside of that, I think we're more likely to see NXT surprises. Braun Breaker's got to be involved. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see Cameron Grimes. I think he's earned the opportunity at the top there. Maybe even Samoa Joe. Not Samoa Joe. Ghost welcome says, Vince, I know you're watching. Time to bring out the big guns. We need an appearance from the greatest wrestler of all time, Shane McMahon. Ghost, you know what happens. It's nearly WrestleMania time. It's nearly WrestleMania time. Do you remember what happened last time? It was nearly the Royal Rumble, and we started talking about Shane McMahon. Do you remember? He turned up. Let that one breathe. Spider Boss says, do you believe that Roman will hold the title until mid-2022? Yes, although I do believe Seth Rollins is one of the biggest threats he will have faced. I think May, June time is when Roman will start to be losing the championship. Justin says, 11 unconfirmed names for the Women's Rumble. I'm assuming Belair, Liv, Zaya, Alexa and Asuka are 5 of the 11. That leaves 6. Well, you can definitely count Trish Stratus, let's be honest. She's definitely going to be there. We know quite a few more legends, as it were, who will be popping up, but the WWE do believe they have bigger surprises in store. You know who I think that might be, but that's just me. What can I say? Alex says, what's Lita going to do on SmackDown tonight? Lita, it looks like we'll be teasing something with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair does not have a storyline in any way, shape or form at the moment. Recently, she's just been basically doing favors for Naomi, helping out in that storyline, which is a good thing. Gets more eyes on that storyline. Charlotte Flair is a draw, so she was working the draw segment. I could see that happening again, but right now with Lita involved, it is the perfect time for Lita to get in the face of Charlotte, really promote the fact that Charlotte Flair is going to be in the Royal Rumble and tease that. If Lita throws Charlotte over the top rope tonight, you can bet your bottom dollar that is all we're going to hear about until Royal Rumble is over. Now this is a really big one from Brock the Moneymaker, who really, really, really loves certain wrestlers. I'm going to read the whole thing out. Why does every dirt sheet continue to post Dave Meltzer lies regarding Sasha's recovery time? The medical recovery time for the injury she has is 6 weeks max, not 8, and it's 6 weeks from the time she was injured, which was January 2nd, which puts her back mid-February, not mid-March like he claims. Why don't they do their own research instead of reporting his lies? Lot to unpack there. Let me say this. If Dave Meltzer is saying that, he has been told that. He has absolutely been told that by somebody. When it comes to why do so many different outlets report Dave Meltzer, you've got me. It's a fair question. I'm not entirely sure. The man has been proven wrong more than any other wrestling journalist. Literally more than any other wrestling journalist, he has been proven wrong. That is a fact. That is genuinely a fact. Sorry guys, just got to get rid of someone. Lovely. Outside of that, you don't know Sasha's recovery time. You don't. I'm guessing you've read up on the possible recovery time. It's not a guarantee. Everybody heals differently. There may be complications. They may be keeping her out for a storyline reason and plan for it to be 8 weeks. There is a lot of possibilities. Saying it's an outright lie when we haven't had any proof otherwise, that's bullshit. Wait for it. If she comes back in the Rumble, then you call it a lie. Because then it's proven wrong. Wait for it to be proven wrong, then you strike. Moxley says, Tom, I don't think that Roman will lose the belt to SummerSlam or a little after WrestleMania. So roughly the same time that I do them. And Moxley says, are you doing a SmackDown watch party? Yes, I am. Tonight we will be watching SmackDown live here on the Tom Colohue channels, both on YouTube and on Twitch. You can join us for a 2-hour show. If we do hit that 2 subscriber target, we only need 2 subscribers to reach that 815. If we do hit that target, guarantee we'll be aiming for another 5 to get up to 815. Because why not? Why not? You know, I want to make that happen. That'd be fun for me. If we can race to that 1,000 while our watch time continues to climb, while our average viewership on these videos continues to climb, Tom Colohue will be a very, very happy boy, I tell you that. Though at the same time, we've gained quite a lot recently. Tom's a very happy boy already. Justin says, since Belair, Ripley and Liv are faces, I would have to believe that Alexa would be a heel. They're not sure at this point. I think Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss writes itself. I really do. I think that's not just likely, but definite over the next few months. It has got to be something that happens. There's got to be some connection there. These two really connect in a very, very clear way that we've not seen yet, but they're going to. The chemistry is going to be there. I would like to see it. So Alexa as a heel does make more sense. Just quickly, we are currently sat on 18 viewers with only 6 likes. If you're watching at the moment on YouTube, please do remember that little thumbs up. It can make a massive difference to this channel, and I will eventually shut up about it. Jay Quick says, do you think Chris Masters shows up at the Rumble? No, I think the only reason that's popping up in people's minds is because Carlito was there previously and because Bobby Lashley is using the Master Lock. It would be fun to see a Master Lock off. That would be fun. I don't think they will do it, and I don't think Chris Masters will be interested. Also, yes, thank you very much there. Thank you very much there, Ed, reminding us of the rule of Shane McMahon. This chat refuses to apologise for Shane McMahon, even though we are entirely guilty for Shane McMahon. Please do not use your channel points, even though they're not active right now, to summon Shane McMahon, as if it happens 3 times, you will actually summon Shane McMahon. Pick your battles, guys. Pick your battles. David Leary says, any chance Mickie James wins the Rumble? Nope. And faces Charlotte at WrestleMania with both the SmackDown and Impact titles on the line? Nope. Absolutely not. None of that. None of that. Sean says, I believe PW Insider reported that Melina and Cameron will be in the Women's Rumble, and Cameron is interested in a WWE return. This is where I have to call to mind research, because I want to say something else that PW Insider reported. They reported that Melina had signed a new contract with the WWE and that she would be appearing on that week's Raw. Melina herself then came forward and said, yeah, this is bullshit. She then didn't appear on Raw and hasn't appeared for well over a year now after they've said it. PW Insider, even over the last few days, have been proven wrong a few times. PW Insider not really at the races right now. So, to be blunt, as usual, don't believe everything you read, especially when it's only one source saying it. That's the thing to always remember, 2 sources. If it's just PW Insider reporting it and everyone else is reporting, PW Insider has said this, it's still just one source, guys. Still just one source. I'm not saying wait for me to confirm it, because I don't have all the answers in any way, shape or form, but wait for someone else to confirm it as well. Spider Boss says, Meltzer says, WWE still wants Sasha versus Charlotte for Mania. They do, and I believe I said that on Monday as well as several weeks previous. I do want to say a quick thank you. I did receive a notification. Somebody was talking about Dave Meltzer says Sasha versus Charlotte is a plan for Mania, and I did see someone, see if you guys remember, someone saying that Tom Colohue with a tag has been saying this for a while. I appreciate that. When I say something and it's proven right, you guys sharing it makes a big difference. It helps me grow and helps people realize I know what the hell I'm talking about. It is a huge help. I really do appreciate it. It's not enough for me to sit there and say, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. It doesn't convince people. It doesn't make people give me a chance. But when you guys say it, it's a big difference. Thank you, guys. Alex says, Nakamura and Woods are out of the Royal Rumble. They are, apparently. I think Nakamura's been confirmed. I'm not sure about Woods yet. I haven't really been tracking it as well as I should. But that is 2 individuals out of the Royal Rumble. Nakamura wouldn't have been in the Royal Rumble anyway. The plan was for Nakamura to take on Sami Zayn. But now that has shifted. We still have... Jackass. Johnny something? I can't remember his name. The guy from Jackass is now working a program with Sami Zayn, much in the same way that Logan Paul worked a program with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's basically the celebrity keeper at this point, and, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world to be. Laukman says, who do you think will eliminate Charlotte in the Royal Rumble? Now, a little later on, Moxley suggested Alexa. I don't think that's a bad shout. However, when it comes to Charlotte, I think whoever eliminates her will at least work a program with her in the days and weeks that follow. So I suspect it will be Aaliyah. I think Aaliyah will eliminate Charlotte. I think that's why we're seeing her tonight wrestling Natalya. I think they're going to build her up at least a little bit. Aaliyah with a win over Natalya, and then Aaliyah will eliminate Charlotte. Charlotte, over the next few weeks, will then engage in a storyline with Aaliyah to basically buy time until Sasha is available again. Aaliyah will not win, but Aaliyah might get the benefit from it. It would be cool, let's be honest. Welcome, Tanner. How you doing, mate? Great to see you. The user says, Tom, was Tony Khan's big debut Brody King? Well, he's big, and it's a debut. I believe it was, however, with Tony Khan, it's impossible to know for certain. He always has something in the back pocket, especially right now, when their ratings are slowly on the decline. They are declining in much the same way that the WWE ratings are. However, the WWE is going into the Royal Rumble and going into WrestleMania. Because of that, those ratings are going to shoot up. AEW have relied a lot on surprises. There'll be a couple more in Tony Khan's back pocket ready for this period. Sean says Alexa versus Liv at WrestleMania. I'd like it, book it, make it happen. Spider-Boss says, is Liv Morgan the next big babyface? I think so. I certainly think so. Becky seems determined to make that happen, and honestly, I give her immense credit for that. KJ believes that Banks will still make the Rumble. I don't think it's impossible. I'd like to see it. I just will wait and see as to whether it actually happens. Jay Quick says, Charlotte's like, what is Impact? Fair. There's no better put down than, I'm sorry, who are you? Let's say Charlotte. It works. Johnny what? Johnny Knoxville. Thank you. Thank you, Para. Johnny Knoxville. God damn it. That really worked on me. Really worked on me. Alex says, what's next for Nikki? Go back to the old Nikki Cross or still be Nikki Ash? Nikki Ash, but sort of like when Sami Zayn turned heel. He was still dancing to his theme, but he was just obnoxious and you hated him and it was great. That is what I think we're going to see. Nikki versus Liv will happen soon, I'm sure. Hello, Para. Great to see you. I'm doing very well, thank you. Tell me how you are. How are you right now? Jay Quick says, if Tom tells me the sky is green, I'm believing him. I've not seen a green sky yet, although stranger things have happened. Ghost says, do you think another one of the returning legends like the Bellas will make an appearance on Raw? I do. I think there'll be a couple of them. The Bellas are an obvious choice. I think we may see Mickie James on Raw over the next few weeks, but she's already starting something with Charlotte. Trish, again, I think will be popping up soon. Boss Pedal, welcome to the show, says you need to release a Tom Colohue score sheet at the end of the year. Big ticks next to all the stuff that happens. I do need to start writing this down. After all, guys, if you're regular viewers here, you'll be fully aware that weeks before it came out via Fightful Select, I sat here and said, yeah, CM Punk has been in negotiations with both WWE and AEW about a potential contract. With WWE keeps changing the goalposts. With AEW, a deal might happen. Literally, sat here and said it. Sat here and said it. Should have clipped it, should have tracked it, but I don't have all the time in the world. And that sucks. I need a team. That's what I need. I need a team. Thank you, Boss Pedal, as well, for the Johnny Knoxville reminder. Lance, welcome to the show, says Woods confirmed his injury on the G4, expected to miss. That sucks. Ah. Oh. But hey, they do have enough men to fill a Royal Rumble. It's not like the situation with the women where they don't have any women because they keep firing them. Hello, Dynamite Sky. How you doing, mate? Great to see you. It's been a little while. Hope you're well. Justin says, Aaliyah the 2002 Maven. I mean, I'd take it. That also kind of ended Maven's career. There wasn't really much of a program after that. He just got destroyed by The Undertaker. But it was fun. Larry says, I know it's Knoxville, but no way I'm admitting that. I have a shred of self-respect. Well, Hawkman says, could the Bella Twins be the next women's tag team champions? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There is no point in my mind having the Bella Twins and not at least letting them go against the women's tag team champions. Even if they just, let's say they wrestle for 2 weeks after Royal Rumble. They have 2 matches against Carmella and Zelina Vega. They lose them both. That's pretty good for Carmella and Zelina Vega. Let's be honest. David Leary says, is Johnny Gargano appearing at an AEW show in Cleveland in 2 weeks? There are conversations, there are negotiations. Johnny Gargano at this point is not convinced. However, an offer has been made formally and he is considering it. Larry says, hello, I feel like wrestling is getting better again. Well, we are building up towards the Royal Rumble. We're building up towards WrestleMania. That's when it usually gets good. They save their big hitters for now. All the weird storylines that make no sense whatsoever, they happen elsewhere. They just happen elsewhere. Now we get to the Royal Rumble, we get to WrestleMania. Now we want the big guns. Not to be confused with Big Guns Joe. They don't want him. Jay Quick says, Johnny Jackass worked for me. Fair. Sean is suggesting Nikki ASV, almost a super villain. I like that. That would be cooler. Just go from like the blue and yellow to purple and just make her evil. Go like Superman in Justice League. But if that film was any good. That sort of thing. Alex says, save Bianca versus Becky for the next Saudi Arabia show and book Becky versus Bayley for Mania 38. I want it. You guys know I want it. You guys know I want it. I'm still hopeful that Bayley's going to make this happen. But I don't want to put pressure on her either, let's be fair. Spider Boss says, are the Bellas beating Zelina and Carmella? Probably. It's WWE. They tend to book their champions to lose a lot. I would rather they put them over, personally. But we are where we are. Paris says, a bit of an update. Still having to deal with post-COVID symptoms, which sucks. I get that. After I first had it, it drank me dry. I could barely walk afterwards. I think I've had it the second time in the last few weeks, but I didn't have it bad. I think I had it. I didn't have it enough to think to myself, oh, I should get tested. Just looking back, everyone around me had it at the same time, so I think I probably had it. Other than that, going to the odd wrestling shows and sorting a few bits and pieces. Nice to know you're keeping yourself busy. I do pop onto Twitch every now and then and have a look for you. At the very least, I've got you on Twitter, so I keep looking for if you pop up and you're doing a show. I do enjoy the Devil May Cry ones. Fun stuff. KJ said, what did you just say about Punk? That he was coming back, mate, but I said that before Fightful Selected. In one of these shows. I remember it. I remember it well. Hello, Dynamite Sky again. Glad you're good, mate. Glad you're good. Things are great for me, to be honest. Things are fantastic. The worst thing to happen in my life over the last 6 months or so is that recently on Football Manager, I didn't sign the world-class player I was looking for. I don't know how it happened, but life got really good. Hope you're great. Jay Quick says, I'll be part of your team if you ever start one. One day, mate. One day. One day we'll have ourselves a little team and I'll be able to pay someone for like 2 hours of work a week just doing the research, watching my shows and just like, okay, says this, says this, says this, says this. And at the end of the year, just like everything Tom Colohue was proven right on. Would be fun and wouldn't take too much effort, let's be fair. A lot of you here already watch the shows. Imagine being paid for it. All you gotta do is have a spreadsheet open at the same time. Tana just says, Nixon Newell. Maybe one day, mate. I think they've given up on her. I don't think you should, to be clear. I don't think you should. But I think they have. Just so you know, Sean, I'm doing things slightly differently at the moment. I haven't scripted anything for spoiler warning. This isn't technically spoiler warning. This is just a general show. I'm just doing a general show answering questions. The news that I've got mostly has already been asked. If at the end of the show I haven't been asked about then I'll do a wrap up, but I'll stream for about an hour, so about another 22 minutes, hopefully long enough to get those extra 2 subscribers I'm looking for, and at the end of it we roll on to the Smackdown watch party. Spoiler warning, as a rule, not going to be the same going forwards, but it will still be happening. When I have news I'll share it, but I'll wait to see if you guys ask the question first. Because I do feel that looking back at the shows, my audience would constantly dip whenever I went into a news segment. The chat rate would drop. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. I've grown a lot faster now that I've dropped that format. Alex says, I confuse who the babyface are, Roman or Seth Rollins, and Becky or Doudrop. Well, essentially, they're all heels. The 2 top feuds in WWE right now are all heels. But to be fair, Brock Lesnar's the only big face, and Roman didn't look too heelish last week. At least not to me. Boss Pedal is suggesting get some staff and Tom Colohue becomes Team Colohue or Tom Colohumans. Your pick. Team Colohue is fantastic. I love that. That's amazing. Boss Pedal, I am stealing that and I'm using it. I'm making it into a hashtag. As soon as I'm popular enough to have a hashtag of my own, I am 100% using it. Thank you. That's lovely. That's great. David Leary says, Mandy Rose being called back up to the main roster anytime soon. No plans just yet. No plans just yet. Mandy Rose is doing exceedingly well, which is good because they put her down into NXT because they'd kind of given up on her. It's good to see that she's doing well. She will eventually return to the main roster. I suspect she'll be in the Royal Rumble, at least briefly. I think all of Fatal Attraction will be. I think it's Fatal Attraction. Is it not Fatal Attraction? It's something Attraction. I think they will all be in it. I don't watch NXT. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't sound like I even watch wrestling at this point. KJ says Bella's, Natalia, Beth, Lay Cool, all back. Well, Natalia never left, to be fair, KJ. Natalia never left. Moxley says, Tom, what if the plan was to have the Demon lose to Roman and have the Demon win the Rumble? Just like how the plan was to have Orton lose to Brock at SummerSlam 2016 and he won the Rumble in 2017. Yes, but here's the thing to remember. You can usually see it coming by Survivor Series. Survivor Series is usually a big tell as to who will win the Royal Rumbles. For example, Drew McIntyre eliminated Volta from the Royal Rumble, then went, not the Royal Rumble, in Survivor Series, then went on to win the Royal Rumble. Bray Wyatt pinned Roman Reigns, and he and Randy Orton stood as sole survivors in Survivor Series. Not sole survivors, but survivors. By WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt was the champion and Orton had won the Rumble. Usually Survivor Series is a big tell. Also, I'm going to be really honest with you, Moxie. I think we should probably give up on Finn Balor being anything worthwhile in the WWE. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. Larkman says, is the storyline between Naomi and Sonya ending soon? No. No. No, I don't. Spider Boss says, do you believe that Wardlow will go to WWE? Not yet, no. It is certainly possible that there is interest, but it's very interesting how the news report came out. Interesting, Wardlow. Right before an interview came out with Wardlow saying that, hey, I'm staying with AEW. It's almost like counter-programming. Paris says, it'll come back, mate. It's a breathlessness I'm having to deal with at the minute, which is why it's on the back burner, while I get myself back to feeling at least somewhat normal. I hear that. It took me a while for my legs to start functioning properly. I was okay when it came to lungs, but I believe you have a few additional vices to myself, which also affect the lungs and make it a bit harder on you. Noob says, I've seen it. Okay, you've said that, mate. You've said that, Noob. I did read it earlier. I do believe she'll be making a return soon, Asuka. Alex says, I want Kofi to win the Royal Rumble. He won't. To face Brock Lesnar, Mania 38. Payback for 8 seconds on SmackDown. He would lose in 8 seconds again. Yeah. Sean says, thoughts on Alexa's therapy sessions. Alexa's therapy sessions... Just read a little bit further down and see all the response there. Alexa's therapy sessions are to create contrast. I have been stressing this in the comments of the YouTube videos for a little while. They have to show you who Alexa was in order to pivot to who Alexa is. They don't want her walking back in as a different character, because then you'll ask, oh, well, what about that? They have to show you the transformation. Wait until next week on Raw, then we'll start to get a feel for it. Jay Quick with a Team Colohue. Paro with a Team Colohue as well. And a whole load of the phrase toxic attraction from Lance, Jay Quick, Moxie, and Ed. Toxic attraction. I got schooled. Spider Boss says, what is next for Finn Balor? He'll be in the Rumble. I think that's it. Keep putting over Austin Theory, because we all want that. Larry says, I'm a big New Japan, Ring of Honor and AAA fan, and to save time I just watch Impact. They're all on there and it's fucking great. Hey, JY is returning. As long as there's a JY, Impact is worth every second, I tell you that. Alex says, Zelina Vega and Carmella have nobody to face for the Women's Tag Team Championships. They do have the Bellator. Sorry guys, I ate lunch I ate dinner quite recently. They do have the Bella Twins quite soon. They do have the Bella Twins, so that's quite telling. Justin Stevens is saying, any update on McIntyre? I'm hopeful he will be at the Rumble. Justin Stevens again asking, any update on McIntyre? I did read it, mate. I caught you. Oh, you retracted it. Oh, okay. It still pops up in my feed if you retract it, just so you know. When it comes to McIntyre in the Rumble, I really don't see it. And I think that's probably why you retracted the message. The update so far is that he's doing better. He needs a rest. He certainly considered a little bit of a surgery. But I think as much as anything, he needs a rest, he needs a relaxation. I don't think we'll see him in the Rumble. I think Saudi Arabia, we're more likely to see him then in a chamber match. Alex says, I don't see WWE booking Sonya versus Naomi for the Saudi show. Sonya Deville may never appear in Saudi Arabia for reasons of gayness. Which sucks, but that's one of many reasons that shows in Saudi Arabia are fucking stupid. Ghost says, I'm going to predict that Layla might be in the Rumble. Could have a late cool reunion or even an extreme expose reunion if they bring in Brooke as well. Or we could have a throwback to Piggy James, which I don't want, but which the WWE have a habit of doing, let's be honest. Lahawkman says, who could be the person dethroning Roman Reigns? Could be Seth, still think it'll be Drew. Jake Lee says, I laughed when Lesnar did a knock-knock joke. He's actually funny, isn't he? Like, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed he's so funny. I'm annoyed. He's actually a really good face. It's infuriating. Man's got talent. I didn't expect it. It's Brock Lesnar. I didn't expect him to be able to talk this well. Anyway, Sean says Alexa did post a picture of herself with pink hair now. Yeah, she likes to mix and match. She can always wear a wig. For the and to be fair, here's the thing, guys. The vignettes have already been recorded. They were all recorded in one, so we may not see the pink hair for a while. Spider Boss says, do you believe that Raquel Gonzalez is heading to SmackDown? Yes, I do. I think Io Shirai, Dakota Kai more likely for Raw, but Raquel Gonzalez for me heading to SmackDown. The WWE and Vince McMahon really want the stare down between Charlotte and Raquel. Basically, they just want giants facing off against each other. Jay Quick is saying, what's next for Finn is fruitcake and catering. KJ counters with Finn's not even in America. He did ask for some time off. He gets it fairly regularly at this point. And to be fair, the WWE are absolutely fine with it. It just means he's not going to get a solid push. Moxley says, you know what? I swear Roman beat Elias in 5 seconds at Money in the Bank in 2019. No, I do believe that was a competitive match. I don't really recall it, but I do believe it was competitive. Anyway. Hockman says, could Alexa have split personalities or a hybrid character between Goddess and Dark Alexa? The idea at the moment is very much to merge them, bring them together, and have a character that respects the two that she has been, but is something new. I have lost count of the amount of times I've said it. That's what I believe is going to happen at this point. Megan, welcome to the show, mate. Says, Brock having a personality was not something I was ready for. You and me both. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Alex says, remember Mania 33 against The Undertaker? Well, Roman. I remember it. It was a great match. I thought The Undertaker was intentionally looking beat up and like he couldn't compete anymore. I thought that was him signing off. But no, apparently he was just beat up and couldn't compete anymore. Fair enough, Moxie. Did not remember that. Coming in with the facts today. Moxie says, knock knock, who's there? Bobby. Bobby who? Exactly. And that's kind of fair. It's a good response. If you haven't seen today, Bobby Lashley did come out with the news that when he first heard that Brock was going to be added to the match at day one, he wanted out of the match because it would mean that Brock could say he defeated Bobby Lashley. Certainly suggests that Bobby Lashley might be winning at the Royal Rumble. Ed says, now that Volta has left NXT UK, is he headed to NXT or the main roster? NXT for now. I believe he will come up in the next draft, which may be a little while away, to be fair. Well, I've got you, and while I begin to head into the last 10 minutes, we are currently hunting just two more subscriptions, which will take us up to 815 on YouTube. You can help in a big way. One, just by popping over to YouTube and joining the group there. Two, by hitting that thumbs up. That like button makes a massive difference and always encourages more viewership. At the minute, we're on 9 likes. And we always have a few more people than we have likes. So every like helps. And of course, if you're watching on Twitch, you can follow here as well. We're currently only 8 follows away from 450, which is pretty good because it is I think about 3 days until my 1-year anniversary of my first Twitch stream. My first proper Twitch stream. At some point, I'll have to go back and see what that looked like. But it's about 1 year away from my first ever Twitch... Not 1 year. About 3 days away from my first ever Twitch stream. We've gone far and we've gone fast. That's all I'll say. I'm very proud of what we've been able to achieve together. Larry says, human rights abuses, poor working conditions, sexism, racism, homophobia, war crimes, terrorism and corruption. But apart from that, I can't see why you're anti-WWE going to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. This is, of course, one of the reasons, and the main reason, I will not be watching any Elimination Chamber that takes place in Saudi Arabia. I'll watch the Rumble. I'll watch WrestleMania. I don't watch Saudi Arabia shows. And anytime I say that on Twitter, there is undoubtedly some dickhead in the comments saying, yeah, but I bet you still watch it. No. No, I don't. I have no idea what happened at Crown Jewel. No idea. No clue. Don't care. You made your choice, WWE. Megan, Stat Queen always, says the official time for Roman versus Elias was 8 seconds because that was just in-ring time because Elias jumped Roman backstage beforehand. Ah, yeah. See, now it's bringing to mind. Thank you very much, Nathan Albert Tunis, who has just subscribed over at YouTube. Thank you very, very kindly. As I say, each individual subscription does make a big difference. We are currently trying to get to that 1,000, but right now we are just trying to get to 815. If we can get there, then we have done 20 new subscribers in 5 days. Oh, we're there. We are there. We're at 815. Thank you very kindly, everyone. We've hit our target. 2 more subscribers. We've hit 815. Thank you very kindly. That means, in fact, that we have gained 20 subscribers in just 5 days, which is an incredible rate of gain. Thank you, everyone, for the help and for the support. And thank you, Nathan, for your subscription there as well. Spider Boss says, will Moxley ever return to WWE? Yes, he will, probably just for the Hall of Fame induction for the Shield, though. Ghost says, I would be intrigued if they brought back the Bellas, Lakeul, and potentially the Divas of Doom into the tag team division. I would like to see Beth and Natalya in the tag team division. I've wanted that for a while. I'd also like to see Beth versus Becky. It's overdue. If Beth Phoenix is coming back full-time to wrestle, I'm there for it. Could even do Trish and Lita to give that division a boost, plus everyone loves a little nostalgia. It needs a boost, for certain. Absolutely for certain. They definitely need that to really give it a little more, what can I say, oomph. The oomph needs to happen. That's the thing. So I'd like to see it. Sean says, does Grayson Waller cause AJ Styles to be eliminated at the Royal Rumble? Yes, I think he does. Grayson Waller in the Rumble makes a lot of sense, given his story of AJ Styles. If AJ Styles does not win the Royal Rumble, because let's be honest, not an impossibility. Not an impossibility at all. And something I personally quite want to see. I just want AJ to have his moment in the sun. Make it happen, WWE. Spider Boss says, will Becky Lynch become a part-timer anytime soon? Not just yet, though she may be in and out for a month at a time or so. She is supposedly going to be taking more time off. She has signed a new contract, which would mean that she gets a little bit more time off, and that's a good thing considering she is a parent now. She will get to spend a bit more time with her kid. So she should be vanishing every now and then, but not to the level of being a part-timer. Ed suggests that Tom should do a dance every 10 subs on the road to 1K. Here's the thing.